They say there are castles built for kings, castles built for defense, and castles built for wealth. But in the forests of northern Bohemia, in the Czech Republic, there stands a fortress built for none of these reasons. Huska Castle, raised in the second half of the 13th century, carries no royal chambers, no strategic river crossing, no seat of power. Instead, legend and record agree it was built to cover something. The castle rises from limestone cliffs, its Gothic walls set against forest and rock. Yet its placement is curious. It guards no trade route. It surveys no border. Its fortifications are turned inward, as though its purpose was not to keep invaders out, but to keep something inside. Beneath its chapel lies a great fissure in the rock, a chasm described in medieval accounts as deep, dark, and without visible bottom. Local tradition called it a gateway to hell. Stories told that strange creatures emerged from it, half human and monstrous, troubling the surrounding villages. In some versions, black-winged beings flew out at night. Chroniclers recorded that the ground around the fissure was avoided by animals, and that prisoners sentenced to death were offered pardon if they allowed themselves to be lowered into the hole. According to one story, the first man lowered returned screaming, aged decades in moments, before dying soon after. It was over this chasm that the chapel of Huska Castle was built. The floor still shows stonework meant to seal the gap. Frescoes inside the chapel, preserved to this day, depict unusual imagery for their time. Creatures stabbing at human figures, and a female centaur pointing a bow not backward as is traditional, but forward. Scholars note this as a rare inversion in Christian art, suggesting an emphasis on unnatural threat. Though the legends speak loudly, the castle's history is quieter but still unusual. Constructed under the reign of Ottokar II of Bohemia in the 1200s, Huska was indeed raised with thick walls and a defensive structure, but with no kitchen, no water source, and no outer fortifications suitable for war. Its rooms were sparse, unsuitable for royal residence. Later centuries saw it used as an administrative center, then as a noble residence, and eventually it fell into neglect. In the 20th century, during the Nazi occupation of Czechia, the castle was seized by German forces. Local memory holds that occult research was conducted there, though historical documentation is limited. After the war, the castle returned to Czech hands and was restored. Today it stands open to visitors, its chapel, halls, and legends drawing those who wish to walk in its shadow. Skeptics hold that the fissure beneath the chapel is not bottomless, but a natural limestone crevice, exaggerated by time and tale. The gateway to hell, they say, is a metaphor woven into centuries of folklore. But others argue that too many layers of story converge here. The unusual architecture, the unsettling art, the enduring accounts of unease. Huska Castle remains on its cliff, forest pressing close around it. By day, sunlight shows it as a fine medieval keep, with restored walls and guided tours. By night, imagination reaches deeper. Travelers stand in the chapel and look down at the sealed stone floor, remembering the words of old villagers who believed the castle was never meant for defense, nor for royalty, but for containment. And so, the story endures. Huska Castle is remembered not for battles won or kings enthroned, but for its silence, for the stone raised not to welcome life, but to stand guard over a darkness beneath. Whether the fissure is a legend, a natural void, or something older still, the lesson remains. Not all fortresses are built to keep enemies out. Some are built because the earth itself holds a secret that must not be allowed to rise.